Okay, so back in 2014, Forbes declared introverts the new power players of the digital age. And they were right because tech spent a decade building a world that finally worked for people who didn't need to perform extroversion to prove their value. And the people who thrived in that environment, who finally had a workplace built for how their brains worked, built real careers and they built meaningful careers and they built successful careers. And now they're all being laid off. Over 800,000 tech workers have lost their jobs since 2022, and 80,000 were laid off in Q1 of this year alone. And those cuts were directly tied to AI. The same tools that made human interaction optional are now making entire roles optional. And the advice being given to those people that were laid off is network, put yourself out there, go to events, be personable, connect. Here's where it's actually rude, okay? It's not just that job descriptions are listing interpersonal skills as requirements, it's that you literally need those interpersonal skills to find the jobs in the first place, because cold applications from job boards have a 1% success rate right now. 1%. And the jobs that are actually real and available that aren't ghost job postings are behind relationships. And you never hear about those jobs in conversations. They're literally in a physical room that you have to get yourself into. So the system that spent 10 years telling you that you didn't need people skills now requires you to use those people skills to find a job, and then use those people skills to get the job, and then use those people skills to keep the job. And you're starting from zero because you were never asked to develop these skills, and nobody is developing them for you, because professional development, investment in workers and building people up, like, companies have made it very clear that that's not their problem. That's apparently your individual professional responsibility to keep building on those things. They built the environment and they rewarded this introverted behavior, and they created a dependency. And then they called the layoff a business decision and told you to go network. And that is their structural failure dressed up as your skills gap, because it's easier for the people at the top to blame you as an individual instead of looking at the shortfalls of the system that they bought into. And I just needed you to hear that.